We are live. Welcome to episode 48 of the High Slot Podcast, brought to you by our producer, Mass Music Radio. I'm here today, as always, with the boys, Bob Deuce.
How are we?
Snipsky.
Yes, sir.
And myself, Andrew Coco Curry. How we doing, boys?
Doing good. Just enjoying the nice weather that we're getting presented to us right now. It's unreal. Pretty early, though, April, so it's nice to see it. Getting on the golf course a lot more now, so... And gearing up for the NHL playoffs. How about you, Vinny?
Yeah, beautiful day in Mass. Enjoying it. Played a shit ton of golf recently. Like I'm retired or something. But yeah, it's great. Yeah, I can't wait for the playoffs. It's gonna be a hell of a playoffs.
Yeah, it's been an eventful time lately. We got playoffs coming up. It was a hell of a weekend. We had the Masters. The boys were down the Cape with a little golf. The lefties swept the weekend 2-0.
Yeah, you caught Vinny on a bad week.
Yeah, I went and played Braintree 18 yesterday, and I shot a 93. I didn't bring my game to the Cape at all.
Yeah, you left her on the front doorstep of Arthur Street.
Yeah, and then I picked it up this week. I think I played 36 holes this week.
Yeah, I mean, it's very early in the golf season. I think that was most of our first time out on a legit course playing 18. I mean, we played 36 this weekend. Bob played 72.
Yeah. I played a whole live
literally.
tour. I played 54 holes in 2 days.
Dude, how's your back after that? My back would be done.
Oh, no, I felt phenomenal. Shout out Pin High Fitness. I feel phenomenal.
Yeah, his back probably actually hurts from carrying me all weekend.
Yeah, I definitely felt a little bit of that.
I'll admit it. I played like dog shit, but I had a good round yesterday, so I'm back up on the saddle, getting out there tomorrow too.
Yeah, all that matters is the next round. That's all that matters. But yeah, Tommy and I, it was a long time coming. We were more than due. So it felt good for us to finally get in the win column. Masters was sick. Unfortunately, I had Brooksy. He was in the lead basically all week, and then Sunday came around and he just fell apart. And Johnny Rahm just was, typical John Rahm. When he's dialed in, he's, he arguably might be the best golfer on tour when he's on. And he wasn't making any mistakes. And shout out to him, Rambo. He got it done. First Masters for him. Probably the first of many. He's a hell of a golfer.
Yeah, dude. So I had the ultimate sweat on Sunday. So I took Max Homa. Absolutely shit the bed. Was +3 to end the whole entire Masters, I think.
I don't think he made the
he
cut.
did.
No, he made the cut. He just didn't. Yeah, he barely made the cut. But so I'm on my couch on Sunday. I'm like, all right, I need some action, dude. I need to make some money. I'm due. So right before round 4, there was a bet +144 to have John Rahm shoot 69 or better, 3 under or better on the final round. He was at -3, 69 or better on the 18th tee. Snap hooks one left. And I'm like, fuck, I'm done, dude. Oh my God. He hit a provisional, all this shit. He walks up, dude, and he's about to hit a second shot. I'm like, word, I'm done. He's for 4 out in the fairway, sick, dude. He's gonna bogey or worse. And then he found his ball, the marshal's, oh, your ball's over here. So he lays up. He lays up into the fairway. His third shot's in front of this massive bunker. Dude, if anyone the average golfer had that shot, they're blading that over the green or they're putting it right into the bunker. Dude, sticks it to 30 feet. I sell so hard he taps it and 69 or better, baby. +144, cash it.
Yeah,
it was wild.
You're talking about the Rahm bet you had, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I took Rahm. So Coco, I left your place Sunday morning, and I'm looking at DraftKings, dude. I saw the John Rahm +140 or something to win. I was like, whatever, I'll hammer it because who knows? I was like, word. I took that, and then and then Bob had to sweat that out, so we're sitting on the couch at home, holy shit.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was
I mean,
fucked.
I gave out Brooksy on the pod last week. He was +3,700. I felt good about him all week, and then Sunday came around, and I just got this bad feeling. I'm like, he's not used to playing 50. He's not used to playing 72 holes, so I think Sunday's gonna be tough for him.
Right.
He had been lights out, and then he kind of just fell apart. Not gonna lie, I cashed out on him, so I did end up winning on him. Not as much as I would have won if he ended up winning the whole thing, but I cashed out when Rahm I think tied it And then on the next hole, he like pushed his drive into the woods. And I'm like, yeah, he doesn't have it today. Cash out, made a little dough off it. So I'll take it. I mean, I've always been a Brooksy guy. So I was happy to see him, back in it. He loves the majors. He always shows up for the majors. And a lot of people hate on Brooksy, but I'll be a Brooksy guy through and through. I don't care what people say about him, say he's a douche, say he's an ass, but I'll be a Brooksy guy forever.
I knew there was going to be a live guy at least making noise because they like feel mad disrespected from the PGA Tour too. It was funny because you hear about Koepka blaming Cantlay for the slow play in front of him too. Dude, that's probably like that. That's why the round lasted so long, and it just threw off Koepka. Like he's definitely kind of a mental midget. And then, but obviously he's good. If it was a faster pace, I'm sure he would have played better. But yeah, and then Rahm hits the ball into the woods, and he can't see it because it's like so dark, because they're playing so slow. And then he like hits a provisional out there, and his ball's like.
I've never seen that before on the tour, like that slow pace of play like that. I thought like that they were like on a time clock because I mean I can definitely relate to that. You're out on a round on a Saturday at your local muni, and there's just some hacks in front of you, like. Me personally, I just get so in my own head with that. I just get so antsy. I'm like, what are these guys doing, dude? Like, I'm trying to get in a groove. I'm trying to, get out there, rip my drive, hit my next shot. Right. And then when you're waiting like 5, 10, 15 minutes between every shot, it does have an effect on you. So I could definitely relate to Brooksy on that. And I would have been upset too. Yeah,
especially in the Masters. Like, dude, that's the biggest golf tournament of the year, biggest event of the year. And you have to be like waiting, like in your, like for us at the local muni, you're like fucking. At least we can like crush some beers and listen to some music and like whatever all this shit. But like he has to stand there, think about like fuck, dude. This next shot pretty much like determines my golf legacy. And I gotta wait 20 minutes to hit.
Sent a message. That's what we would have done.
Yeah, that'd been hilarious. Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's 100% like, dude. How many times we're like, back pocket,
send a message
like every single time.
What did Koepka say? He was like, oh yeah, John's going to the bathroom.
And he's like, we're still waiting.
Yeah, it was still weird.
Yeah, I think they became boys, him and Rahm, because like, dude, there was a bunch of clips of them just like laughing, like joking, like talking, all that shit. I'm like, dude, that's kind of hilarious. Like these two are like down, like the like two guys that determine who wins the Masters, and they're just like chilling. Like,
I know what Koepka's doing. He's recruiting for that live team he's got over there. He's the captain. He's probably like, yeah, Rahm, like 300 million guaranteed. Like play with me. Win the tournaments. But it's hard to follow the live, my opinion. Like, I think it's like cool that they're all playing, but I like the head-to-head like aspect better when it comes down to
live. It's not it's not on TV enough. Like it's got its own channel, so it's tough to follow. But the live guys showed out, dude. But with Brooksy finishing second, and then Phil too. Phil shot 7 under on Sunday. Old man Phil. Patrick Reed was up there too. There was a number of the live guys that had a great performance this past weekend. So say what you want about the live tour, but you can say those guys are sellouts, whatever. They're still unreal golfers at the end of the day.
They all have green jackets. They all have green jackets. Like
I guess at this point, it's like, what else do you have to win? Make your money while you can, and then, retire with your millions, and then you're chilling.
Yeah.
Right?
What's so wrong?
I don't know, man. No. I don't know. People say it's ruining the game, but I think it's honestly good for the game because gives people something to talk about.
It's moving it into it's moving the game into a different place.
They should do a live versus like PGA Tour, like Ryder Cup match, like whatever it is, like 16 on 16. That'd be sick.
Yeah, live tour wears shorts, and then the PGA Tour wear pants.
It'd be like Scheffler, Rahm versus like Koepka and like
Cam Smith.
Like who else? Like Cam Smith. That's why I'd probably.
You never know. I think the live tour could give them the run for their money.
I think the live tours get the better golfers.
Dude, that'd be comedy if they do like a neutral site, but they like live puts a couple extra bucks, like slips it under there, and then like fucking they've had to play in like Puerto Rico or somewhere wicked fucking hot, and then like, oh yeah, we're shorts, you guys are pants.
I think I joined the live tour just on that fact alone that you can wear shorts, because like golfing in pants in like 90-degree weather, that must be miserable.
Yeah, it's probably terrible.
I think Cam Smith still wears pants.
Yeah, because he probably has no calves.
Also, he's probably like trying to show respect. He's probably like, PGA Tour, I still wear pants. Don't forget about me.
Yeah, but it was a great weekend of golf, and we got a great month plus of playoff hockey coming up. So we got a big episode today for all you beauties out there. We're going to start with a quick recap of the NCAA Men's Hockey National Championship, and then we'll get into our NHL Playoff Preview and break down each first-round matchup, as well as give you our series predictions. You boys ready to roll?
Yeah, I'm ready to rock. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
All right, let's start with the NCAA Frozen Four that took place this past weekend. In the two semifinals matchups, we had BU and Minnesota. And Minnesota was just too much to handle for BU. They took care of the Terriers 6-2 to advance to the national championship. And the other semifinals game, we had Quinnipiac and Michigan, and it was Quinnipiac that came out on top 5-2. Michigan, for the second straight year, loses in the Frozen Four. Tough for the Wolverines. They just can't get over the hump. And then we had an unbelievable national championship on Saturday night between Quinnipiac and Minnesota. Number 1 and number 2 in the rankings this year. Two of the best going at it. And it was Quinnipiac who stunned Minnesota 3-2 in OT. What'd you boys think of the game? I know we were at the crib watching it. We all had Quinnipiac money line, so it was a good night for us.
Yep.
Yeah, Quinnipiac, like we called it. Like we even talked about it last week on the podcast about how like they're such a complete team. Like everyone stays there for the 4 years because it's a well-known university and all that. And like they play a complete game, like I said, like they play D zone, neutral zone, like great forecheck, all that. And like Minnesota like is a great team. Like they have 2 Hobie Baker finalists and all that, but at the same time, if your team's not in sync and doesn't want it more than the other team, it's gonna bite you in the ass. Like Minnesota came off firing like right away 2-0, but like Quinnipiac, you can tell like they went in the locker room and their coach there ran
Riverboat ran,
which is hilarious. Riverboat ran. He must have went in there and was like, hey guys, like just play your game, go out there, take a deep breath, like all this stuff. We have all the veterans in this room, like they have a veteran core. So just go out there and they locked down Cooley and Knees after the first period, and after that they outplayed them from the second period on, and like that was so ballsy of them, like pulling their goalie with like 2 or 3 minutes left, scoring, and then like I don't know, Minnesota's asleep at the fucking wheel in that overtime, man. 10 seconds in, dude, and like they just lose the face-off, sick neutral zone regroup by Quinnipiac. They come in and then just like sauce it across the ice, forehand, backhand, has the assist to keep the change. It's like, what's going on, dude? Like, honestly, I mean, I'm happy, like it was cool, but at the same time, it's like, what the fuck was Minnesota doing? You know?
Yeah, Quinnipiac, honestly, very impressive. They came out slow and let up a couple quick ones. Well, what was that, first period that they scored those 2 goals?
Yeah, it was the first period. Yeah.
Yeah, they just showed how like resilient they are too. They have an older roster. I think because of like COVID, maybe they got like COVID years on there, but they've been playing together for a long time, and you could just tell like they're so comfortable in their D zone, and then they make the other team make mistakes in the neutral zone. Like they're kind of like sit back, park the bus, and then they explode through the neutral zone. Next thing you know, they're on a 2-on-1 breakaway, like unreal. Like the right team won. Minnesota had so much talent, like, and talent doesn't win when you're not grinding hard and like the effort. It wasn't there in the last 2 periods. Quinnipiac really took over, and then the OT. Like, remember, I was like laying on the couch. I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. Here, Bob, take the clicker. The OT's probably gonna start, and then I go in the bathroom, like sitting on the can. Bob's like, Snipsky, yeah, Quinny just won. I'm like, are you kidding me? I like literally just like went in the bathroom for like 2 seconds.
I said it in like a yelling whisper because I knew Fran was sleeping. I'm like, yo, Snipsky, Quinnipiac, and he's like, huh? I'm like, oh, I can't hear me. Like,
yeah, no, and then I like got up and like ran out, and I'm like, I didn't even wipe him. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck it. I just,
you don't wipe anyways.
Like, I know.
I'm not even
shocked. Like shit. But so I ran out there. I was like, no way. And then I like just selling. They're just selling. I'm like, show the replay. Yeah,
It took him like 10 minutes to show the replay too, which was crazy.
Well, you know why they did it took so long is because he pretended to shoot a rifle like at the end, so they're trying to edit the thing out. So they're like, all right, like
gun control.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, that's horrible. But then you guys were like, the Sally's nasty. There was a sick Sally. Yeah, it was. But like, I was like, show it, and that's exactly why they didn't like show the replay right away. They got to edit out the gun thing. And
I think we had to rewind it. I think we had to rewind it and watch it live.
Might have been online, but we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Watch it live.
We rewinded like an
hour. They
hour.
were given the worst angle replay, like from behind the net, and I'm like, dude, no, I don't want to see behind the net. I want to see like the side angle, like that I was like watching on TV, like. But like that was, dude, like Quinnipiac, I don't know what Minnesota was doing. They just probably thought like Quinnipiac was just gonna rag the puck for a little bit and they were gonna feel each other out or something. Because that happens. Like puck control usually like wins the game, but like they just like fucking jammed it right down their throat and scored in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I said it last pod. I was like, for whatever reason, dude, Quinnipiac was getting disrespected. They were underdogs against Michigan, and then they were underdogs again in the national championship against Minnesota. They were plus 130 against Mich, and then plus 150 against the Gophers. I'm like, hold on a second. I'm like, this Quinnipiac team has been ranked like number 1 or 2. Like, I don't think they were below like number 2 ranking all season long. I'm like, why are they like such big underdogs in this one? If anything, should have been closer to a pick 'em. I'm like, I'm riding Quinnipiac, dude. Like the value's too good here. Like Minnesota and Michigan, obviously 2 great programs, but like I don't think Quinnipiac was that far off. And in the national championship game, Minnesota did go up 2-0 early, but it just felt like Quinnipiac was never out of it. Like Quinnipiac was all over them, just had like so many chances, just couldn't get a bounce here and there. And then finally they just kept grinding, kept going at it, brought it within 1. And then, ballsy, dude. They pull the goalie with like 2.5 left. I'm like, oh, it's a little early. And then next thing you know, buried a tie. I'm like, wow, what a call by Riverboat Rand pulling the goalie that early. Early in the game, there was a bogus call on Skylar Brindamore. He blew up someone, and they called him for like a charge or something. I'm like, dude, that was clean. They were reviewing it to see if it was like a major. I'm like, if they call this a major, this is fixed. Like this is 100% fixed. But they ended up calling it 2 minutes, and I think Minnesota buried on that peeper to go up early.
They did.
Then they got another one. I think it was like shot wide, and it bounced back off the boards and like banked it in. It was kind of just like a bad bounce for Quinnipiac. But the fact we were on Quinnipiac, I love that. But I did love to see Quinnipiac win it because, like I was saying last podcast, like Quinnipiac used to be legit dog shit hockey program. They used to be D2, finally moved up to D1, and they were like bottom of the barrel in their conference for like almost a decade. And then they finally turned that program around. I think they're the winningest college hockey team in the past like 2 or 3 years. And this year, I think they had close to 30 wins. They had an unbelievable season. Their team was stacked too. Their goalie's unreal. Yaniv Peretz. He's a Carolina Hurricanes draft pick. He got called up to the AHL team. Then obviously they have Skylar Brindamore, son of Rod Brindamore. Ethan DeYoung, he was like 5th-year senior. He's played like the most college hockey games all time.
Right.
They had some other standouts too. Sam Lipkin, Jacob Quillen, who ended up scoring the OT winner. Chris Tellier, who is their captain. They had a sick team, and they shut down 2 Hobey Baker finalists and Logan Cooley and Matthew Nyes, he's now with Toronto, and I think he's gonna be with the Leafs for their playoff run. So Minnesota was no joke, but Quinnipiac at the end of the day was the better team, and it was an unbelievable game. It was fun to watch from puck drop till that OT goal.
It was always the fucking Bobcats.
Always the Bobcats.
And Skylar Brindamore is an Oilers prospect and will not sign.
Really?
Update. Because I was like, who did he get drafted by? Because he's a 2nd-round guy, and it said that he will. Hockey Daily Faceoff says Skylar Brindamore will not sign with Edmonton Oilers.
Imagine he signs with the Canes.
Sounds like a smart man. Not signing with the Oilers.
Maybe I'll find out if he's like just a free agent now.
It might be like a junior.
Yeah. So Brindamore will become an unrestricted free agent on August 15th.
Oh, you know Rod the Bod's pulling some strings to get him signed.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow. I mean, like,
he plays exactly like him too.
You know, that kind of sucks for the Oilers because those are the kind of guys they need. Like, Skylar
Grinders.
Brandamore plays with some grit. Like,
Yeah.
you saw him blow that guy up, and he can play. He's got some skill, too. Size. He's like 6'4" or something, too. Like, you need those bullies, especially on Edmonton.
Yeah, they don't have many of those guys. But yeah, the Quinnipiac story is awesome. I saw her on Spin Chicklets. Riverboat Rand went on their podcast, and he originally was offered. He was only offered one head coaching job, and it was Quinnipiac, and he got paid like $6,400 or something to like coach the team that year. They were D2 program. And it's just like the fact that he started out with Quinnipiac as a D2 team, and now look at them win the national championship. So great story. You love to see it.
It shows how like hard work pays off. Like he just stuck with that program for as long as he did. You know what I mean? So it's just like that's an even better story, you know, because he just stuck with it even though they were fucking dog shit for years.
He's been coaching since like I was born. Like I think like '93 he's been the coach over in Quinnipiac.
That's
like
crazy.
that long. Like imagine like sticking it. How satisfying that must be for him to actually win a national title, being there that long. That's as good as it gets.
Yeah. So yeah, it was an unbelievable ending to a great college hockey season. Honestly, I wish we kind of followed it a little closer. We jumped on the wagon at the tail end here, but I'm glad we did because that game was awesome. I can only imagine some of the other games throughout the year that were probably almost just as good. But yeah, next year I'm gonna have to keep a closer eye on the college hockey because it's electric, man. I mean, we know it from the club hockey level, and these are the best of the best when it comes to college hockey. These guys at the D1 level. All right, we're gonna move on here. Before we get into our playoff preview, I just want to highlight a couple quick hitters. The hometown Boston Bruins made history, breaking the record for most wins in a single season with 63 wins, and they also set the record for most points in a single season with 133 points. It's been a hell of a year for the Bruins, and we're hoping to keep this going in the playoffs, which we'll get into their first round matchup in a little bit. Also want to highlight that Erik Karlsson of the San Jose Sharks became the first defenseman since Brian Leetch in 1991-1992 season to reach 100 points. And he's only the sixth defenseman ever to reach 100 points. The Pittsburgh Penguins streak of 16 straight playoff appearances has come to an end as Pittsburgh will miss the playoffs for the first time since 2006. And not long after that, the Penguins announced that they are firing GM Ron Hextall and President of Hockey Operations Brian Burke. Sounds like it's a turning of the tides over in Pittsburgh. Speaking of firings, the Washington Capitals have parted ways with head coach Peter Laviolette after just 3 seasons. And Dallas Stars Joe Pavelski and Ottawa Senators Claude Giroux both reached the 1,000-point marks of their careers, both in vintage fashion, too. I don't know if you saw it. Joe Pavelski, just classic Joe in front, nasty tip for the goal to reach his 1,000th point. And then Claude Giroux just comes down like a dirty dangle, just dishes like he's been doing his entire career for his 1,000th point. So great to see 2 guys who have been doing it for a long time reach that 1,000-point mark. Any of those topics you boys want to touch on?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Bruins, like everyone's been talking about it. Like it's been all over the Boston media, so we don't have to really like just talk to it like that much. But so incredible, man. Like us 3, I mean, I'll wear the Duns cap. I fucking said the Bees were all done beginning of the season. I thought they were gonna fucking suck and everything, but they shoved up my hoop. I mean, it's good to see that though. We'll just hope they actually like get over the hump for this playoff. And also Erik Karlsson, man, like he was one of like my favorite defensemen growing up. He was like one of the main guys that I really looked up to for that position as I grew up as a young player. And like the fact that he's still doing what he's doing right now at his age and all that stuff, and like in his career changes throughout, like just moving from the Senators to the Sharks or whatever. And the Sharks are pretty much like a bottom tier team, and he's putting up 100 points as a defenseman is literally insane. Like they might as well just send that Norris like right to his front doorstep right now.
Yeah, if Erik Karlsson doesn't win the Norris, that's an absolute crime. I mean, 100 points for a defenseman. Roman Josi came very close last year, but Erik Karlsson reached that 100-point mark. And you look at the list of the other defensemen who've done it. Brian Leetch, I think it was Bobby Orr, Paul Coffey, I think Brian Trottier. Like those teams those guys were on, though, were like all-star teams, and Erik Karlsson's doing it with some dog shit San Jose Sharks team who's trading Timo Meier and the rest of their best players. Like he's literally working with no one. He was the entire team this year. And to kind of do it, I guess you can say on the back end of his career, is extremely impressive. And I think earlier in the season we did like a future Hall of Famer or not, and Erik Karlsson was on that list. And I think after this season, it should be no doubt that Erik Karlsson's a future Hall of Famer. I don't think.
Yeah, this is his third.
Third Norris. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not his first.
Yeah, this is because I think he won back-to-back Norrises like when he was on the Sens, if I'm not mistaken. Like probably like 6 or 7 years ago, he went back-to-back, and now he's gonna win his third.
Yeah, he's so good. I mean, when he was on the Sens, he like single-handedly beat the Bruins in the playoff series one year. I remember him. I'm like.
Yeah, it was 2016.
They have Mark Stone, too.
Yeah, I was at one of the games that series, and I remember just seeing Erik Karlsson. I'm like, dude, this guy's just snapping pucks around like it's like fucking, like he's doing it in his like sleep. Like just snapping carrots like left and right, just setting up goals, like going end to end. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Like he was kind of the beginning of his career in that time, too. I'm like, this guy is unbelievable.
It was him and Mark Stone and one other guy that like pretty much.
I think they had Hoffman.
Yeah, Hoffman, and they brought him all the way to the East Conference Finals, and they lost to the Penguins.
Ryan.
They had Bobby Ryan.
They were decent that year. That was when like Tuukka was letting in softies left and right in that series, and
shocker.
You know who it was when McAvoy debuted that series too. That was like the first time we brought, like when he started playing, when we burned like the first year of his contract up. Yeah, and like Erik Karlsson he had like half the points that San Jose has had all year.
I think so.
Like you know what I mean? Like San Jose sucks.
No, he has more points.
Well, I'm saying like they have 100. He has 100 points. How many points
they have like
all
60.
year? Like 300.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it's like
he has way more points than the team. Like,
no, I'm saying like as in like
like the rest
goals
of the
and
roster?
assists. Yeah, as the roster, like he probably has like they probably have like 300 points combined as a team, and he has like 100 of them.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, like if you look at like the whole roster, like he probably has like more goals and more assists than anybody on the team. Like,
well, San Jose is pretty much an AHL team now because they dished like half their team.
Yeah, someone's got to go get him. I know he probably has a tough contract. He probably gets like $11 million a year, so it's probably like impossible to go trade for him. But yeah, I mean, he's got to get on a good team. I think that's what he wants. The Penguins. I want to touch on the Penguins thing because it's so typical, like John Henry owned team as of right now. Like the Sox stink, Penguins stink. They wiped out the front office. John Henry doesn't want to spend any money. Perfect, like to get a hard cap team where he can control like what's being put into the team. Like the baseball is like the most. I want to bring up the baseball. Sorry about the Red Sox. I'm ranting, but like that's a no cap. He's got to get rid of that team. Penguins, good luck. If you're a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, you listen right now. Watch out. It's going to get ugly.
Don't say that to Joe Zappi.
Yeah, I was going to say Zappi's about to become the next GM.
They got rid of Xander Bogaerts, the captain of the Red Sox. Watch out for Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, Zappi's been all over social media about the Penguins lately, but it's definitely going to be weird not seeing Crosby or Ovechkin in the playoffs this year. I don't know the last time that happened. But yeah, the Penguins, man, no reason that they shouldn't have made the playoffs this year. They brought back everyone, Letang, Malkin, Crosby. There was a lot of talk in the offseason. They weren't going to be able to re-sign Letang and Malkin, and they did, to multi-year deals. Like those guys they're locked up until the end of their careers, basically, because they're like 35 plus, and I think they have like 5-year deals. So they're signed until they're like in their 40s.
Same with like Tang.
Yeah.
Letang's got a big contract too.
I don't think the future in Pittsburgh is bright at all. I think they're the oldest team in the NHL.
Yeah,
they are.
And I don't think their farm system's great at all. Their goaltend's an issue. Jari's never healthy. Just Smith isn't a starting goaltender in the NHL. Yeah. I don't know what the future of Pittsburgh's going to look like. Feel bad for Sid, who's one of my favorite players of all time. And I don't know. We may never see Sid in the playoffs again.
Yo, you know what's fucked up too? So like, I saw this post like yesterday, and I was like, damn, like that's such a fact. So Jeff Carter, right? Like he's an NHL legend,
Dinosaur.
Like, he's won a bunch of Stanley Cups or whatever. But like, dude, he like, oh my god, I saw this. I was like, oh damn, like that. Like, no. Well, it's not even like, I mean, like, yeah, he's not the player he used to be, but this makes like the Penguins front office look even worse. Dude, they like, so during the expansion draft for the Kraken, the Penguins unprotected Jared McCann.
Oh, he's nice.
And he's nasty,
Yeah.
and he's ripping it up. He's ripping it up. Yeah, he's ripping it up for the Kraken, but they protected Jeff Carter over Jared McCann.
Oh, that's dust.
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
I didn't even know that.
I didn't even know that until I saw that, and I was like, "Oh my god, dude, that's the dustiest GM front office move I've ever seen." Because like, dude, Jared McCann was nasty on the Penguins too.
Yeah.
Like he was an up and coming player. Why
Like
would you like,
center.
dude? He's like our what is he like 24, 25? Maybe a little bit older.
I want to say a little older than that. Like
Yeah, he might be me and Coco.
He
Might be me and Coco's age, like
Coco.
26, 27. But it's like that's crazy. The guy's in the prime of his career, dude, and then you like let him go, and you let Jeff Carter stay. I mean, Jeff Carter's probably a good locker room guy, but he's not gonna bury for Geonosphere.
And
Yeah.
like I think where they like lost the team, the front office was they made 0 trades at the deadline. Like that's when you know
nothing.
it's like that's when like good teams, like teams that are gonna make a run, like the Bruins, the Canes even made like one move, but like that's like adding on to your team. There was a bunch of teams that are in the running that made moves, like the Oilers. They're gonna be in the playoffs, but the Penguins, like you don't make a move at the deadline, like that's sending a message to your team, like we're not. This isn't it. This is not the year. Like. And I'm sure the team, that's how they respond. They're like, oh, they're not going to add to our team to make it better at the for the final stretch. Looks like they're not expecting anything from us, so they just like pack it in, get the golf clubs out.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Penguins stats right now. Dude, Jeff Carter, 79 games played this year, 13 goals, 16 assists, 29 points, dash 16, worst on the team.
Jesus Christ!
Yo, he's the retirement's coming.
Oh,
Retirement is on the horizon.
he
but
might
he's
as
gonna-
well hang him up.
Well, he's gonna retire like in good graces, though.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
He has
Yeah,
so
I
many-
mean, yeah,
he
he's a
has
legend.
3 cups. He's fucking.
He's
shit.
a
Oh, yeah,
playoff
3 cups.
legend.
But if you like look at the players, it's like a players league in every league nowadays. Like Sid probably runs that locker room and he's like, "Oh, I want Jeff. I want Jeff." You never know. It's kind of the same in Boston with Bergeron. Bergeron's calling shots.
Yeah, he's the one that wanted Foligno.
But yeah, dude, the Penguins roster is brutal. I mean, you had Crosby, 93 points. I mean, but he's not vintage Sid like he used to be. Malkin at 83. And then you kind of had a drop-off. Gunsel at 73, Raquel 60, and then Zucker, Rust 48, 46, and then you got a bunch of guys in like the 40s, 30s, and 20 points. Like they got no one on that team that, you know, has a bright future. So, yeah, Pittsburgh, I think their run is over officially.
Gensel has to be better.
Yeah, dude, and they blew that shit too, dude. They had like a really good, like easy schedule at the end of the year to make the playoffs over the Panthers or the Islanders, dude, and they just shit the bed. It was crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
who'd they lose to down the? Oh, they lost to the Blackhawks.
Yeah,
that was
5-2. They lost
that was
5-2.
the backbreaker, I think.
And the Blackhawks, if they lost that game, would have had, I think, the worst record in the league. Would have got the best odds for Bedard.
Now Ducks, right? Or is
Ducks,
it,
yeah.
it's Ducks.
Yeah, dude. So I was filling in for I've been filling in for a beer league team. It's the playoffs right now, and it was like our playing game or some shit like that. And I took the Pens and Blackhawks over, dude. I was driving to the rink. I was going to the Zap. Plays as a dumpster fire, but that's beside the point. But I'm driving to the Zap, dude, and I'm like, fuck, 0-0 going to the second. Like that shit's dead. I go play the game. I come back in, and some kid on our team just goes, "Yo, Pens just lost 5-2." I'm like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Oh, that sucks." I'm like, "Wait a minute, Pens 5-2? It covered?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Let's go." I think it was mad funny. Like,
Dude, it was 1-0 going into the third. And they
Yeah,
scored
mad goals.
6. They scored 6 in the third to hit the over. That was nuts.
yeah.
Wait, what game are you talking about?
The Pens and Blackhawks. The Pens just blew up in the third, wicked bad.
Blew up.
Yo, I bet that front office in Chicago was fucking punching holes in the walls.
Yeah, just punching air.
Yeah, and then
What are we doing?
Yeah,
They're like, it's like the Spider-Man meme when there's Bedard's photos on the thing and he's like touching it.
Yeah.
fucking yeah. And then the next day, like Johnny Tays is like, yeah, fuck this organization, I'm out. Like,
I think they told him to beat it.
nah, I think I was probably because they definitely would still want him, dude. He's the captain.
I think they kind of like maybe both went to each other and was like, yeah, like you haven't played in like a couple of years, pretty much. Like,
well, no, he came out halfway through the year this year and was just like,
oh, he came out.
All right, well, let's keep this PG, Vinny. Jesus Christ. No. But so
What do you mean?
yeah. So he came out like halfway through the year and was like, yeah. He's like, if this organization's not trying to make a run for anything and try to be a winning like culture, I don't want any part of it. Like he said that like halfway through the year.
He's been unreliable. I mean, like he's been dealing with stuff.
Yeah, he just long COVID, dude. You never heard of it?
No, it happens. But I'm saying that like they hold those teams like. Whether it's ruthless, it's such a ruthless business. I'm sorry, but like they hold these things against you. Whether
being gay? Because he said he came out.
I don't know what you're talking about. But no, like he's been. If you're not available, the best ability is availability in any sport. And if you're like sick, they'll be like fine, but like they're gonna low key like say, all right, like what are we doing here? You're not on the ice.
I agree, but yeah, so. Penguins, no playoffs for them, no playoffs for the Caps. Why don't we talk about the teams who are in the playoffs? So it's been a long, grueling 82-game season, but the best time of the year is finally here. It's playoff hockey, baby. There's nothing else like it. So why don't we dive into our first-round matchups where we have the potential for some instant classics with some of these matchups. So I came up with an idea here. So we'll give our predictions for each series matchup, and it'll count towards our Vander Kane standings, which I'll highlight those right now. So last week, Snipsky went 3-2, Bob 1-4, and myself 2-3. So the end of regular season standings currently are myself in first place, 65, 55-1, hitting 54%. Bob's in second, 58, 57-1 at 50%. And Snipsky is only a game behind, 58, 59-1 at 49%. So I figure we do it this way. We give a series prediction. You get 1 point in the win column for picking that team to win the series. And you get an additional point if you guess the correct games they win in. So like Bruins in 6. Yeah, so you get Bruins and then you get another point for nailing the correct series prediction.
So, Coco, I have a question. I thought I went 4-1. Or did you have because I had the Avs. The only one I think I got wrong last week was Vegas.
I could be wrong. Let me double check.
Because I think I had the over. I had the Rangers.
You had Rags over Lightning, that one, right?
Yeah. Then I got the over
in Ottawa, Florida.
So that's 2.
Penguins.
I got the Pens. That's 3.
You had Vegas.
Yeah, and then I lost, and I think I had the Abs.
Yep, we said Avs had to be puck line.
Oh, did we do puck line? Oh,
yeah.
all right.
Because they were like
fast one over here.
Because they were like minus 500.
No, I got it.
The professor never fucks up.
No, I got it. No, I didn't know. Like I didn't know.
They didn't try to pull a fast one.
No, I didn't know that. That's my fault.
Yeah, no, I think we said because it was Avs Ducks and Avs were like minus 500, so we were like, you have to go puck line if you go Avs, and I think they won in OT.
Dude, fuck them, by the way.
Yeah, that was nuts. They should have lost that game too.
I know, dude.
Oh, I actually live betted that. Quick, Colorado, I lived it, and they were down 4-3.
4-2. They were down 4-2 at one point.
Oh, with 10 minutes left, whatever they were down, I live betted at plus 360.
Wow.
I put $20 on it. Yeah, and I won I think it was like $100 or something. I was like, hell yeah.
Whoever was in Vegas that made that odd live fucked up because dude, the Avs are so much better than the Ducks. Dude, they could be down 5 and they'd still come back. It
sounds bad, but I literally when I'm trying to bet, I keep that app up and I'm like right there. So like that 360 was probably there for like 10 seconds. And
I'm nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it. And then the guy right before he changed it.
All right, so we'll break down each series. We'll give our prediction and then in how many games. So you get 1 point for obviously picking the right team, additional point if you get the series number of games correct. All right, we'll start with the Eastern Conference because all the matchups in the Eastern Conference are set in stone. We'll start with the top team in the Eastern Conference, the Boston Bruins. They'll be taking on the wild card 2, who ended up being the Florida Panthers. So we got Bruins, Panthers. How we feeling about this, boys?
This is going to be a consensus. Like, definitely. Like, the Bruins. Like, I wanted this matchup. I think I said it on the pod last week. I think this works out better for the Bruins. Especially, like, they don't lose at home, so we're going to go 2-0 out in Florida. There might be a snoozer, like the first game, where it's like no one goes to the game in Florida. And it's going to be like the first 3 rows are filled, but then the rest of it's like 20,000 people. Like, that's how big their arena is, and I don't think they've ever sold a game out.
Yeah, so it's a retirement home down there.
Yeah. Sunrise, Florida. I guess it's in like a shit location, like right next to a retirement home. In like the sticks somewhere, like not even like, it's like central location. But so I'll say like maybe like a gentleman's sweep. I would love for him to sweep. But that's what I think when it comes down to it, the Islanders would be a bad matchup for the Bruins. And the Bruins are going to bully the Panthers. The Panthers don't have any goaltending. Like, that kid Lyon's been pretty good, but he's like he's been like a AHL journeyman. And then you got Bobrovsky, who got benched for this kid. Like, he's been playing the last 4 games, and they got Bobrovsky on the bench. Like, how are you going to bring in Bobrovsky cold off the bench? I just don't. You got to ride the hot hand, I think.
So you're going Bruins 4-1?
Yeah, gentleman's sweep.
Bob, what's your thoughts on this series?
I'll say I'm gonna take the Bruins just because like they kind of took it to the Panthers. They kind of took it to the Panthers during the regular season. But the thing is, I think it's gonna go 6 because like I feel like we're just gonna kind of be like first round, a lot of pressure on us, best team in the league, like best team in league history, regular season. There's gonna be a lot of pressure on us, so I think that we might let a couple games slip. So I think we'll be 4-2 Bruins.
Not gonna lie, this matchup scares me for some reason. All I can think about is that game right before the All-Star break when we were down in Florida, and we were like down. We came back. We took a late lead with like 40 seconds left, and then the Panthers bury one with like .5 left on the clock, and then they like scored immediately in OT. I don't know, dude. I don't think the Panthers are the best matchup for us. I'm like looking at Matty Tkachuk. He's had a hell of a year, and he's a pest, dude. He's a rat. He's gonna be going at it with Marshy and Bergie. He's gonna be going at everyone, just trying to get it under everyone's skin. And they still have a good team, Barkov, Verhaeghe, Reinhart. Like, they can score goals, and if our defense to lunge, like, we could potentially be in trouble. Like, I don't know how good Allmark's going to be in the postseason. He had an unbelievable regular season, like one of the best regular seasons a goalie has ever had. I think he only had like 8 losses this year, something like absurd. He was like 43-8, I think. But I don't think this is going to be easy. I don't think this is going to be easy at all. Like Bob kind of mentioned, a lot of pressure on the Bruins, President's Trophy. Historic season, breaking the single season win record and point record, which some people are saying put an asterisk next to that, by the way, because we had 8 overtime wins, and back in the day they didn't play OT, they had ties. So
and another thing is they played 80 games.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we did it in 81. So technically,
take that with a grain of salt.
Like, we gotta Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened to Bergie last game. I don't know if that was planned that he was only going to play like a period, but they said he left with upper body.
I was hearing it was like just a bullshit. Like, it was like Bergie's from Montreal, and this could be his last game. So in Montreal, so they're like kind of like, so you're going to play the first period, and then we're going to yank you. Because what happened, remember that got picked, Ren Pitlick? Took him out. Yeah, and like, we don't need that.
But the same Bergie's good to go. Krejci's supposed to be good to go. Forbert's supposed to be good to go. So it's interesting to see, which 6 they're going to go with on the back end and which 12 they're going to go with up front, because there's going to be a forward or two you're going to be like, damn, like they're a healthy scratch. Could be Foligno, could be AJ, could be Freddie, but he's been playing really well. I'm thinking it might be AJ Greer, just because he's young. He's kind of like a scrappy, tough guy.
They might need that.
We might. I mean, like, especially against the Panthers, send him after Kachuk. Like, just Kachuk can't be bullying our top guys. That's the thing. Like, he can't be going after Halsey and Bergie. Like, we need someone protecting those guys. So I'm hoping the Panthers don't come in and try and, bully us like that. Obviously, I'm going to go with the Bruins, though. I'm going to go Bruins in 6. Bruins in 6. I think this isn't going to be as easy as most people think. Might be a little scare. I think we might split the home and home. Might go 1-1 and then 1-1 again in Florida, and then we take care of business in the last 2. So I'm gonna go Bruins in 6.
Shouldn't go that far.
It shouldn't
go that far though.
No, but the thing is about like how you said like we need like the tough guys to make sure like Kachuk isn't running around. Yeah, but the thing is, you can't get away from the fact that like the Panthers can be very explosive offensively. Like they got Barkov, they got, like you said, Reinhart. Verhaeghe can bury a lot. Dude, he's been scoring a lot of goals. So we have to be mindful. We can't be like asleep at the wheel, because I feel like there's a good chance we might be asleep at the wheel for a couple of games.
Don't be surprised if we see a lot more Swayman than we think, because Allmark did not look good. That post-to-post non-contact.
Yeah, that scares me too.
That's real. That's like no joke, and no one's been talking about it, but like a non-contact groin injury sounds a lot like Tuukka Rask to me.
I hope not, but it does sound like that. So we're all in the Bruins consensus. Me and Bob going Bruins in 6, Nipsky with the gentleman sweep, Bruins in 5. All right, let's move on to our next Eastern Conference series. Second best team in the East, Carolina Hurricanes. They're going to get the wild card, number 1. Who's the New York Islanders, and this was probably going to be the most boring series, I think, out of all the first round matchups. You got 2 defensive-minded teams, 2 great goaltenders. So we got Canes Islanders. What's your thoughts, boys?
Dude, I'm honestly like torn between this decision. I was actually thinking about this last night, just watching hockey. Like you said, 2 great goaltenders, but I think the Islanders have the edge, man. Sorokin, if Olmark wasn't alive. Sorokin would be the reigning Vezina guy right now. So, I don't know, man. Like, the Islanders have a great decor. And I think this is a Cal Clutterbuck series. This is his type of series, dude. Like, you just fucking suffocate the offense and just go out there and bury your opportunities. But at the same time, man, like, the Canes are like, they've been pretty solid without Svechnikov. That I know they're not going to have that much, like, offensive firepower, per se, but, like, I'm torn right now, but you know what? I'm gonna go for an upset early. Give me Isles in 7.
Isles in 7.
I think this is gonna go. Give me Isles in 7.
I don't hate that. I've been back and forth on this one too. I'm like, Islanders. They're just a team built for the postseason.
Anyone can win this series. Anyone can. Like I wouldn't be surprised if the Canes win. I wouldn't be surprised if the Islanders win.
Islanders are built for the postseason. Sorokin, unbelievable season. He's been bailing them out. Both teams kind of struggled to score since the Canes lost their leading scorer in Svechnikov. No Pacioretty, who unfortunately wasn't able to stay healthy this year. But I think the Canes still have enough to get past the Islanders. I mean, they got Marty Necas. He's been having a great season. He's been scoring some clutch goals for them too. So watch out for him to score at least one overtime winner in this series. Like you mentioned, Cal Clutterbuck. I think Marty Necas is that guy for the Canes. Aho's still out there. People forget they grabbed Brent Burns in the offseason. He's an anchor, offensive defenseman. Kotkaniemi. Gostisbehere, too, is a sneaky pickup for them. I think the Canes' defensive core is just a little bit better than the Islanders, just a little bit better. And they can't go wrong with goaltending, whether they go Freddie Anderson or Antti Raanta. Both those guys have been proven to be successful in the postseason. I'm going to go Canes. I'm going to go Canes in 6. I think they get it done this round, but second round's a different story. I think they have enough to get by the Islanders, so give me Canes in 6.
Yeah, Coco, I completely agree with you. I'm going with Hurricanes in 6 also. Hurricanes, people are going to think about Snechnikov, losing Snechnikov's big deal. I think I'd have this team going a lot farther if Snechnikov was healthy, because he's an absolute bully. He can score. He'll lay you out. He's like I know this might be crazy to some, but he's like a mini Ovechkin the way he plays. He just bodies people and scores goals like it's no one's business. It's a huge loss to the Canes, but I think Sorokin's going to have his hands full, especially with his team not putting up a lot of goals. Both teams have when it comes down to goal scoring, I think the Canes have the advantage. They have a little bit more firepower, especially with Sebastian Aho, like with scoring goals and just points overall. He's the leading goal scorer on the team. Like you said, Martin Natius dishing the puck very well. Definitely goaltending advantage to the Islanders, but I don't think they're going to be able to put up enough goals to keep up.
That's going to be a good series. I think it goes minimum 6. Wouldn't surprise me if it goes 7. I think the Islanders are going to put up a good fight.
Yeah, 6 or 7.
I think they're going to put up a good fight. It'll be like every game's going to be like 2-1, 3-2. Like there's not going to be many goals in the series. Yeah,
sweaty,
close, gritty games.
Old duels.
Yeah, hammer the under.
No puck lines.
Yeah, it's going to be an old duel series.
All right, moving on. We have a rematch of last year's first round matchup in the Eastern Conference. We got the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Leafs Lightning. What are we thinking here?
Dude, I don't want to fucking say it. I don't want to say it.
Say it. It's going to happen.
Oh, my fucking God.
I'll say it.
Just say it, dude. Just say it.
It's the Leafs year. It's the Leafs year. There's something wrong with the Tampa Bay Lightning. I don't know what it is. They hit a snide, and I'm like, they're going to bounce back. They're going to get hot before the postseason like they always do. But I don't know. Something's wrong with Tampa. I don't know if it's that they've just won a lot in the past, 4 or 5 years, and they're just not as hungry. I mean, this might come back to absolutely bite me in the ass, and the Lightning come out and just stomp the Leafs. But Vasi looks human. He has not had the best season, and unless he just all of a sudden flips a switch in the postseason, I don't see it happening. I've always sided with the Lightning. They've been good to me, but I just think it's the Leafs' year. They lost in 7 to the Lightning last year, and they honestly shouldn't have lost that series. They were up 3-2, and they blew it. They choked, because of the Leafs, and that's what they do. I just hope they don't do it this year. But I think the Leafs are a different team this year. These guys now have plenty of playoff experience. There's no more excuses for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They have good goaltending. I think it's the Leafs' year. I'm going to go with the Leafs in 7.
Yeah.
Give me the Leafs.
Yeah, same with me. I hate it pains me to say this because I fucking hate the Leafs.
Are you going in 7 also?
Yeah, and then but the thing is, dude, the Lightning. So I said in our preseason preview that they're not gonna be the same team, because they got rid of a lot of key pieces on defense, a couple of big pieces on offense, and obviously you're not gonna be the same team if you give up some of your guys and all that, and you can see the workload that they had to endure the past 2 years going back to back, trying to go back to back, and it shows, man. They've lost some bad games. They've lost some bad games. They've won some good games, but at the end of the day, they're not the same Lightning team they were the past couple of years. And like you said, Coco, the Leafs are definitely. I don't say it's a year per se to make a deep run, but I think it's the year to get out of the fucking first round. It's their year to
just to get by the first round.
The first time in 20-something years they'll get out finally.
Yeah, I agree. It's another consensus, but the Leafs are definitely no, they definitely do. They should, like you said last year, they should have won the series, but they choked it away. And I think the Lightning, when it comes down to how much hockey they've played over the last 3 years, they've made cup runs after cup. I think it's just time for them to reset, have a summer where they play golf and reset and gear up for next year, because you can tell they're tired and they just don't have it this year. And you can tell in the way that the Lightning have been playing lately. They've been out there chippy, trying to fight guys. It looks starting it up. It looks like men's league.
They're frustrated.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, exactly. It all started when we played them in that matinee game. Bob was at the game covering it for the high slot. Dude, they know that the Bees, they're not trying to give up the torch. They're not trying to pass the torch, and they're threatened by the Bees. So that's why they're fighting. They're not playing. They're actually being physical, and that's when a team's all right, this team's better than us. We're going to have to try to slow them down physically. But I think they're going to have an early exit this year. And then the Bees are going to have a good matchup with the Leafs.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to is a Toronto-Boston second-round matchup, a little rematch from what was that back in 2013?
Bergeron!
Yeah. I'd love to see that again.
Oh, I'd be rock hard. They're walking around like Ron Burgundy.
I'm just rock hard thinking about it.
Too much wear and tear in the Lightning. Vasi played 60 games this year. I think he's worn down. It pains me to say this, but Leafs. And I did not expect you boys to be on the Leafs too, so this really scares me that we're on the Leafs.
Hey, it could be sharp.
Yeah. What's your series predictions? Leafs in?
I was going to say earlier than 7. I think they're going to get them in like, I'll say 6. I want to say 5, but I feel like that's a little too early. I'll say 6.
Yeah. What about you, Bob?
7.
Leafs in 7. Go Leafs, go.
No, dude.
I've been betting the Leafs lately, and they've been pretty good to me. So
I stay away from the Leafs, but
they're underdogs in these games.
I'm doing it.
I
Dude,
bet them
if
like,
they lose to the Lightning, dude, I literally might go to Toronto and burn down the city. If we all take them, because like, dude, we all know how we feel about the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah. And if they absolutely fuck us in this first round and make it look like idiots, I'm going to Toronto and I'm burning down the city.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be too happy with them.
Bob's gonna send
if they don't get out of the first round again.
Bob's gonna send a death threat to Drake and be like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Yeah, watch. Drake's gonna be at game 1 wearing
he's a mush, dude.
Yeah.
He's a mush.
He's gonna be wearing a Toronto Maple Leafs. He's gonna be right next to Justin Bieber. Yeah.
Oh
Bieber,
no,
yeah.
yo,
And Celine Dion. They're gonna be fucking chilling.
Yo, did you see what Spit and Chicklets put on their Instagram? It was like Bieber and his girl at the Florida game. They were in Florida. And it was like the Leafs were playing, and I was just commenting. I was like, "You guys can take this down. Still got time to take this one down." TMZ.
Leafs consensus.
TMZ.
Never thought I'd see it. Never thought I'd see it, but it's a Leafs consensus.
It's time.
People are not going to be happy that we're on the Leafs.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
we're looking for winners.
I mean,
here.
the writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
So.
All right, last first round matchup of the Eastern Conference. This might be the best series, I think, in the first round. New York Rangers, New Jersey Devils. Battle of the border. Rangers, Devils. This is going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. Boys, let's hear it.
I got the Rags. Everyone's so out on the Rags right now. Oh, everyone's they're an all-star team. Like, blah, 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 all this stuff. Like, but dude, Shesterkin has woken up, and the Panarin and Kane chemistry is back. Like it just took them a couple weeks, and now they're back. Like they're snapping it around, and like it's gonna be tough for the Devils because they're so young to like go on the road and play an MSG in a playoff game. Like it's gonna be tough for them, dude. Like don't get me wrong. Like the Devils are a good hockey team. They're just too young. Like I'll give them like a couple more years for them to make a run, maybe even next year, but. I got the Rags, man. I'll take them. I think the Devils will give them a series, though. I want to lean towards 6, but I'll do a 7 just for the sake of it. I want to see a 7-game series.
Rags in 7?
Yeah.
Snipsky, what are you thinking?
So I'm very torn on this. I love the way the Devils play. And I don't think they're as young as Bob says. They got Thomas Tatar, great forward. Dougie Hamilton. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of his, he's still been in the playoffs and played in some big games. Jack Hughes, man, he could be something tough to handle, especially in the playoffs. Haven't seen him in the playoffs really yet. Maybe last year. Did he play? Did they make it last year? I don't know if.
No.
Yeah, they didn't make it. So
no playoff experience, like I said.
I mean, it's. Hey, you never know. That kid is special. He's got special ability. You never know. I'm gonna go on a limb. I'll say Devils in 7.
Devils 7. This is a good series. Devils been having a great year. So have the Rangers. Both teams been playing very well down the stretch here. I trust the Devils more than I do the Rangers. I think the Rangers are a little fugazi. I think they're soft. You know, other than Jacob Trouba, I think the rest of the team's soft. Don't see much grit in that team. I love the young guns in New Jersey. I just think they have like a we don't give a fuck attitude. Like put us up against anyone. Doesn't matter. We're giving him, we're going blow for blow, punch for punch. I like the Devils here. Shesterkin has been playing really well, but don't sleep on Vita Vanacek. He's had an unbelievable season.
Yeah, right.
33 wins, only 11 losses this year. Devils, I think, are a little bit better defensively, too, than the Rangers, and I think the offensive ability on both teams match up pretty well. I like the Devils. Give me the young gun Devils. I'm going to go Devils in 7. I'll go 7.
You guys see Luke Hughes' goal last night? That was pretty
OT
good.
winner. Yeah, they were down 4-1 that game. Came back and won 5-4. So they can come from behind. They can play any style. They can play run and gun. They can play defensive. I think they can match up with anyone.
Talk about looking human like Shesterkin too this year, taking a little bit of a step back from last year.
A little bit, but he scares me a little. He could get really hot. He could go, superhuman again like he did last year, but I don't think it happens. I like Devils. All right, that's our Eastern Conference. Let's move on to the Western Conference where it gets a little dicey. These matchups some of the matchups aren't exactly set in stone yet because the Avs play tonight, and with a win from the Avs over the Preds, they will win the Central, so that would shake up some of the matchups. But one matchup that is set in stone is the top team out west, which is the Vegas Golden Knights, Bruce Cassidy's bunch, and they're going to be facing off against Wild Card 2, which is the Winnipeg Jets. So we got Knights, Jets. What are we thinking?
I'll go first. I like the Knights. I think this is like the same style. Like both teams play the same style of hockey. The Knights just have more firepower when it comes to scoring, and the Jets have had a hard time like finding their depth scoring. I mean, Hellebuck, he could steal a series, but if you can't score goals, especially against this Knights team, it's going to be tough. So I'm going to take Knights in 5.
Wow, Knights in 5. No respect to the Jets.
Yeah, geez.
I love the Jets, but I think the Jets just can't find any scoring.
I'm going to counter you here. I'm going with the first round upset. I'm going with the Jets, Jets, dude. Give them to me. I got a future on them, so I have to ride the Jets. I think the Jets are kind of primed for an upset here. Vegas hasn't been fully healthy. They did announce that Eichel's going to be back. Same with Stone, and one of their top defensemen, was it Pietrangelo? Has he been out?
He's been back, I think.
It was, who was it?
Holden?
Theodore? Has he been healthy?
Oh, Shea
Theodore.
Yeah, Theodore hasn't been playing.
Theodore, Mark Stone, and Eichel are all supposed to be back. I don't know how healthy they are. It could have been, like a Tampa Bay Lightning. You guys are just going to sit out. We're going to save some cap space, and then you guys will be good to go for playoff time. But the main reason I'm taking the Jets here is because I cannot take Lauren Brosseau over Connor Hellebuck, who is having a Vezina-type season. So I'm going to go Jets in 6. I think they're going to surprise some people. The Jets, they were in the playoffs a few years ago. They play dirty. They play dirty and scrappy. Remember Mark Scheifele's hit on, who was it, dude? The guy was going for a wraparound.
The Canadians.
It was who the hell? He knocked the kid out. Remember it was Ryan.
Poling.
Who the hell were they playing?
It was the Canadians.
Who were they?
Yeah.
No. Was his name Jake Ryan or something?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, it was like something
right.
Ryan. Yeah.
It was Jake Ryan.
It was like a wraparound, right?
Yeah.
And he scored.
Yeah, it was on empty net.
And he got blown up.
It was them to lose a series against the Canadians in that qualifier. It was in 2020. It was the bubble.
It was the bubble year. But I like the Jets. Rick Bowness, new coach behind the bench for them. Boner, he's a good coach. He can coach this team to a first round upset, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna go Jets. Jets in 6.
Wow, you're gonna wash Bruce's balls?
No, I don't care about Bruce. He's gone. Moved on from him.
I thought this was a Bruce pod, man. What the hell happened?
I mean, I was always a big Bruce guy, but once you're out of Boston, I don't know. You don't mean anything to me anymore.
You're a fart in the wind.
Yeah, literally.
Bonus used to coach the Bruins
Yeah, he did.
when I was in my dad's nutsack.
Bob, who you taking?
This is tough. I like both these teams, man. Like Koki, you nailed it on the head with the whole breakdown of everything. I don't want to take Brosseau over Hellebuck.
Who says Brosseau's starting?
Well,
All their other
the
goalies
thing
are
is,
hurt.
Thompson, Logan
He's
Thompson's
out.
like hurt.
They said he's
And
out for the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Who,
saying.
Quick?
No, Quick's healthy, but he
Thompson.
stinks.
Yeah, he's not.
He's gonna start over Brosseau.
They've been riding Brosseau. He's got a.
Yeah. Brosseau's been playing.
Brosseau's actually 6-0.
But if you-
but he hasn't played many games.
If you got to rely on your goaltending, you're in trouble.
All right, so I'm gonna go with Vegas just because you said they're gonna be healthy and they're gonna have everyone riding with going out there and playing. Because, dude, Vegas's decor is fucking nasty.
It is
and
nasty,
and if they're completely healthy and they have their offensive core, they're going. Like, I don't think you can have like an e-bug in that, you'd be fine.
Yeah,
so
they're dangerous. They're dangerous.
Yeah. I'll take Vegas in 6.
Knights in 6. Yeah, I think that could be a sneaky one. Vegas has had a very good season. I just think Jets might be a bad matchup for them. All right, we'll move on to the other certified matchup. This one is set. It's going to be the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings, rematch from last year's first round, where I think that went 7. Kings took the Oilers to the brink. Oilers end up winning 7. So we got Oilers, Kings. Let's hear it.
I'm going with the Kings here, man. I don't know. Like, I think the Oilers have they have like a really good roster right now. Like they made a good splash at the deadline. They got Ekholm and everything. But I just think the Kings are just like scrappy and all that. And I think they'll shock some people because last year they had a bad taste in their mouth after that Game 7 loss. And I'm just gonna go with the Kings here.
Bob bringing O'Doul's to the campfire, picking the Kings.
How's that?
We want everybody. Everybody wants to
That's a
see
spicy
Connor
pick.
Everybody wants McDavid. Well, I'm going with the Oilers. Huge on the Oilers. Especially with the defense. Matthias Ekholm's huge pickup for them. They needed a stay-at-home guy, number 1 defenseman. They've been rolling. Skinhead Stuart Skinner's been unreal. If they didn't have Skinner playing like he was, I would definitely look the other way. I did last year, and they had absolute Conan net, Mike Smith, and still won that series against the Kings. And I think McDavid's in his prime of his career where he's going balls to the walls. He needs to absolutely take over to make it like him and Draisaitl. So I'm going to take Oilers in 6.
This one's tough for me because I picked the Kings last year. I had them upsetting last year. They had it. I think they were up 3-2 in the series. They had it. They blew it in 7. I'm not going to ride with them again this year. As much as I have liked the Kings a lot this year,
Yeah.
the Oilers are the hottest team in the NHL right now. They're riding a 9-game heater heading into the playoffs.
That's what you want.
I just can't go against a team that's that hot right now and a Connor McDavid who's just playing on another planet. I know playoff hockey's different, but he had banana numbers in the postseason last year. I don't see why he can't do that again this year. Kings, you look at both the teams, goaltend advantage. I'd have to say Edmonton. Skinner's been having a great year. Copley, not bad, or Korpisalo. I don't know who they're going to go with. Both goalies are pretty decent. Defense, I guess you could lean Kings, but offense, Oilers. I don't think the Kings are that far behind, but Oilers just got the best offense in the game right now, and I don't see the Kings slowing them down. So I'll go Oilers 7. I'll go 7. I think it's gonna be a good series. I don't want to disrespect the Kings.
Yeah.
Bob, what did you have the Kings in, Bob?
7.
7.
I want to add on. I don't think the Kings are as good as they were last year. Either when it comes to Phoenix Copley's been on his head recently, and that's I feel like that might be an anomaly type thing where he's just like a Bennington maybe. I mean, that could be good for them. Bennington, obviously a good comparison because he won the cup, but we'll have to see if it's sustainable because they don't really have any number 1 guy.
Yeah, it's tough when you don't have a certified goaltender, and they could throw a tandem at you. But yeah, we'll see. I just like Edmonton. I think they're just hot right now. They're hot at the right time, and I expect them to make another deep run. Stars Wild. And any difference if it's Stars Wild? Do we think the Wild can get by Dallas?
No, it's like I said, I think it's gonna be I respect the Wild and all that, so I think we'll go 6.
What do you think, Snipsky?
So I think I'm down with what Bob says. I think Stars in 6. I just think when it comes down to like I don't think the Stars are gonna like run them over like that. Like I'm saying with the Avs, I think the Stars are gonna are a deeper team, but I don't than the Wild. But I think the Stars definitely have a harder time with the Wild than the Avs would.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think the Wild have a better chance of getting by Dallas than they do Colorado. But again, I think the Wild are too young. I like Dallas too much. I'll join you boys and say Stars in 6. All right, there it is. First round playoff preview. I think we were pretty decent last year, so we'll see what happens this year. But there it is, first round playoff preview. We'll have the picks up on social media. You can tail the boys, fade the boys, do whatever you want to do. Put your bets in on all the mobile apps that are live in Massachusetts. We got DraftKings, FanDuel, Barstool, BetMGM, Caesar Sportsbook. You can place your bets on the mobile app as long as you're 21 or older. As always, please gamble responsibly. All right, boys, before we sign off tonight, Bob, do you want to hit us with a fun fact of the day?
Yeah, I'm going to do playoff trivia. Playoffs are right around the corner, baby. So it's a question for you guys on here. So what player holds the record for most career goals in the Stanley Cup Finals?
Jesus.
And
career goals in Stanley Cup Finals?
Yeah, in the Stanley Cup Finals, the most career goals in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Is it someone recent or like old-timer?
Old-timer.
Oh, okay.
Wayne Gretzky?
No.
All right.
No, yeah, I was thinking that, but I feel like it was like
He
obvious.
played mad cups.
I feel like it was someone on the Islanders when they won like 5 cups in a row.
Mike Bossy?
No.
Yari Curry.
That's a good guess, but no.
So
Mark Messier.
Nope.
Can you give
I was thinking
of that too, Coco. Can you give us like a decade?
It's like old time hockey. Like it's
he has
a
Lafleur.
Good guess, but no.
Rocket Richard.
Ding, 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 ding,
Let's
ding,
go.
ding, ding, ding. I was going to say like.
So we were like both. It was a Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He scored the most goals and like so the 4 people you can choose from was Gretzky, John Beliveau, Gordie Howe, and Maurice Richard. And Aussie Richard was the one.
Did it say how many?
34.
Wow. That's a whole season.
Yeah, literally.
Dude.
Some guys don't even sniff that in a season.
Yeah, Jake DeBrusk didn't even have that this year.
Yeah, no.
No, he
He
didn't.
shoulda. Got hurt.
But yeah, that's
All
my
right,
trivia
boys.
question of the week. So
Yeah, that was a good one.
Hey, I got
like
one.
that.
I got one for you guys. If you guys might
right.
know this one, I don't know, but Jack Hughes broke the single season Devils scoring record. Who was the last Devil? Who did he pass? What Devil did
Patrick Elliott.
Yes.
Coco probably saw that.
Was that too easy?
No, I didn't actually, but I listened to him on a podcast.
Oh, that
before,
I heard him on Spin Chicklets.
He
He
was
did a
nasty,
Spin
yeah.
Chicklets one too.
Yeah, I listened to that one. It was a sick interview.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he was dirty.
I think
like,
it was
his first
it
few
was
years
his
in New
Hall of
Jersey.
Fame. It was the year that he got inducted to the Hall of Fame, I think.
Yeah.
That's nasty. He was one of my favorite players. He so finesse in like such a physical era of hockey.
Yeah, I loved watching Elias, but that Devils team back in the '90s or like early 2000s, whatever it was sick.
Yeah, they were
Marty
nasty.
Brodeur,
I think it's
Scotty Stevens.
I think it's crazy that a Devil has never gotten to 100 points. Like just
I know Husey finished with 99.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I know.
And then you got
Could've one more.
Eric Carlson, a defenseman on the San Jose Sharks getting 100.
Yeah, on the Sharks, that like
Suck.
a lottery team, and he's putting up 100 as a defenseman.
If Carlson doesn't win the Norris, I'm writing a strongly worded email to the NHL.
Yeah, That'd be a legit criminal if he doesn't win.
Yeah, I'll take that personally. Erik Karlsson's my dude.
Now we gotta meme you on. We gotta put your face on MJ's face, and it'd be like, I took that personally.
Yeah,
Like
right.
we'll post that.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'll go at Batman. I'll find out where he lives.
In a
Batman.
friggin' den.
He
Toronto.
probably lives in a cabin in the woods, that creep.
Yeah, him and Tim Thomas are roommates.
Yeah, he has a beat off chair and everything. He has a
Yeah.
he has a station.
100%.
He has a station for that. 100%.
Not married ever.
Yeah.
Just masturbation station.
Has a panorama TV around it.
Oh man,
right,
I
boys.
hope Batman's not listening.
He's listening. He's listening on his beat off chair right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he probably low-key is. Trying to figure out our next move.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
like, oh, the high slot's on to me.
Yeah, right. He's looking out his window. He's like, "Are they outside?"
Yeah, he's got like
Yeah,
the
he's peeping through the blinds.
he's got like the headphones on. He's listening. He's in his chair. And he throws them off. He's like, God damn it!
I gotta move again.
Not again. All right, boys. As always, we'd like to thank our producer, Mass Music Radio. They continue to produce music for the masses. And if you haven't already, be sure to go check them out and their other featured podcasts over at www.massmusicradio.com. That's www.massmusicradio.com. Playoff hockey, boys. I can't be more excited. We've been waiting for this all year. And I think we're in for a hell of a playoffs. And I really hope the Bruins can make a deep run here, make this interesting. But that wraps it up for us tonight. We hope you enjoyed another episode of The High Slot. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to tune in throughout the playoffs. We'll keep you updated on all the latest news and highlights from the NHL playoffs and on this road to the Stanley Cup. Be sure to go follow us over on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at High Slot Podcast for more daily hockey content that you're not going to want to miss. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you all next time.
Thanks, everyone. Let's go.
See ya.
Peace.